so good. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of this I Can't Sleep So On My Tea type of podcast, where when I can't sleep, I just ramble on for an entire hour and you listen to it and you like it. So, today's tea of choice is lemon and honey tree. I don't know. I really like it because I always end up drinking this tea a lot when I'm sick, so it's very comforting to me. Also, I'm gonna let you in a little secret. It's not actually night. I was supposed to record this episode yesterday, but I was so tired. I got home and I fell asleep. So it's actually the morning after. But we're gonna pretend it's night. You know, I have the vibes going on here. So today's episode, we're gonna talk about FOMO, the fear of missing out. To those who don't know. And this is going to be a very vulnerable episode because I still struggle deeply with this feeling. Even last month, I had a full mental breakdown that we're going to discuss later because of FOMO. And now looking back, it was not that big of a deal. But in the moment, it felt like the whole world was crumbling. But again, we're going to discuss this deeper in the episode. I have a little list of things that I want to talk about because I really want to make this podcast episode a very perfect one and vulnerable one because I think it's so important. I haven't heard a lot of people talking about this, so I really want to be that person for those who are also suffering with FOMO. A little ASMR for you. You know I take care of you with ASMRs. FOMO is that little feeling whenever your friends are hanging out without you. You feel betrayed, you feel like you're missing out on all of the fun. You feel frustrated whenever you're not invited to a party and everyone goes and you are stuck at home alone and you feel so bad about yourself. Do you feel like these people are having the most amazing night in their entire lives and you feel like you're missing out on all the fun? It's a very complex feeling, but the first word that comes to mind whenever I'm thinking about FOMO is frustration. Frustration about so many things. Frustration about not being invited to the party. Frustration about being stuck at home or doing something else. Frustration about people having fun without you and you just feel like so frustrated because you're not there with them. And I feel like as I got older, this feeling just got so much worse. So much worse. Like, okay, that I'm not actively working to get better at it, but I think that I should. Like, I'm 20 years old. Why am I feeling such strong feelings of missing out? And sometimes I make the decision of not going out. Like, this happened. I got invited to dates or something. I didn't want to go. And then I felt like the whole world was crumbling because I didn't go and I was alone and blah, 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 people are having fun without me. When I made the decision in the first place to not go because I wanted to stay at home, which is totally valid. So why do I feel this? You know, I made the decision not go. The first time I felt the FOMO is such a funny word to me. Like, the FOMO is like FOMO. It's like a villain. But the first time I felt FOMO, I think it was on second grade. And I was 7 years old. And there was this girl in my class. And we were kind of friends. We were friends. We hung out. We played together. And one afternoon during class, she got everyone an invite to her tea party during the weekend. It was a masquerade tea party. You were supposed to just like put on some costumes. You were going to have some tea. You're going to have fun. And I'm not even joking when I think the whole class was invited except me. And I was so confused because she gave out the invites in front of me. And I didn't get one. And I was so confused because I thought we were friends. Why did you invite me to your fucking tea party? And I remember that I went out and talked to her and asked her why she hadn't invited me to her tea party. And she was just like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I forgot your invite. You were totally invited to my tea party. I'm gonna get your invite right now. I'm gonna ask my mom. She's gonna bring out the invite. Guess who didn't went to the fucking tea party? Guess who didn't got me? Okay, I wasn't invited. And I remember coming back from the weekend because, you know, the parties were on the weekend. It was Monday. And everyone was talking about this fucking tea party. Everyone got invited. Everyone had so much fun. And that was the first time I felt like I was just like not a part of things. I felt so angry that everyone had such an amazing time. Everyone had a blast. And I wasn't there to witness it. And whilst a lot of people like get FOMO because they are actually, you know, scared and afraid of missing out, FOMO for me is more than just that. It triggers my fear of people realizing that they are gonna have more fun without me in it. If I'm not somewhere and people have fun, to me this translates to, okay, we don't want to hang out with you anymore because we actually had way more fun without you in it. And I don't know where these feelings came from, just the insecurities talking, but I get so mad. Like, the story I'm going to talk about happened like 3 weeks ago. And I really went crazy. Guys, I was fucking climbing the walls with this. Like, it was not that big of a deal. Basically, my group of friends, they are together since like 5th grade, 6th grade. So they had a class before me. I just kind of like entered, I was scooching there. And they had a dinner party with their last class, kind of like a get-together reunion class type of dinner party. And I obviously wasn't invited because, it didn't make any sense. I was not a part of the class. But it wasn't the entirety of the class. It was just like a few people. So I was kind of scared because I already knew that I was going to suffer so much that night, because to me, that little get-together translated to, we're gonna hang out without you. And I know that's so irrational, but to me that was it in the moment. Like, they're gonna hang out without me, I'm gonna stay at home. I even tried and made some plans that night, but no one could. So I was stuck at home, and then me and my mom had a fight or something, so I was really stressed out about the whole situation, and I had no one to talk to. Just, it was 100 times worse. This was the friend group of my girlfriend, so she was there at the party, and she was just kind of like updating me on what they were doing, seeing if I was okay, because she knew that I was going to freak out with this. And I was so mad. I was mad at myself. I was mad at the situation. I was mad at them. I was mad at everyone. And I hated feeling like that. It just felt like a piece of me was just being ripped out. It was horrible, such a horrible, I cannot even put into words. I tried to put into words and I couldn't. I tried to distract myself. I tried to watch a movie, but I was so mad at them for hanging out without me when it didn't make any sense for me to be there in the first place. I know that. I am aware of that, and I knew that back then, but the irrational parts of my brain was just like, they're gonna have so much fun without me. They're gonna realize I'm not that great of a friend. They're gonna realize I'm not funny. They're going to stop inviting me to things. They are, this doesn't feel special. That's another thing. Whenever people do something without me first in it, experiencing it with them, I don't want to do it anymore, because to me it just doesn't feel special anymore. An example, some of my friends were smoking the greens, and I wasn't there for some reason, I don't know, and they had a lot of fun. It was super cool. And I got so pissed that they were having fun with them. This is a very vulnerable podcast because I'm talking and I'm trying to put into words the crazy and irrational parts of my brain. So if this is the first time you're watching a video of mine, please don't think I'm crazy, okay? These are irrational thoughts that I had in the moment. And I remember talking to my girlfriend, and I was so mad at them because apparently I was invited. Like, they wanted me to go, and they said that I was part of the group. It didn't make sense that I wasn't there, because although it was a class reunion, it was more of a friends reunion, like past friends reunion, so it just made sense that I was there. So apparently I could go, and I had this whole mental breakdown for nothing. And maybe I would go and I would not feel comfortable with the people because I didn't know a lot of people, and probably I wouldn't have that much fun, and I knew that. So why did I make such a fucking big deal out of this? And I remember talking to my girlfriend the next day, and I was so mad at them that I didn't even want to go out with them. I was so mad. I didn't want to see them. I didn't want to talk to them. I was just like, okay, you're gonna have fun without me? Bye. I don't care. I'm going. I'm not gonna talk to you anymore. We've been friends for 3 years, and I was just so mad because of that. And I know, talking about this just feels so dumb, because it just was all the irrational fears and insecurities taking place within my body and my mind. And in that moment, it really felt like the whole world. I couldn't stop crying. I spent the whole night crying, and I tried to distract myself. I tried to edit. I tried to watch movies. But every time I thought about it, I felt like my heart was being ripped out. It was such an intense emotion. That's why I want to talk about it here, because I feel like I have to do something about it. I need to work on this. Definitely need to work on this. But yeah, going back to the story, I didn't want to go out with them. Like, they were planning to do something like in that week, and I was so like mad at them. I didn't want to go at all. I didn't want to see them. I just felt like I want to fucking punch them. This girl, what the fuck is it talking about? Shut up. That's not happening ever. I hated that experience, and that's why I need to work on this. And the best way I feel like to work on this, and the only way to feel like to work on this, is, and probably it's not the best way, actually, definitely not the best way, but exposure therapy. You know, allowing my friends to hang out without me and having fun without me, and knowing that I'm okay. Especially because I'm one to study abroad next year, so my friends are definitely going to hang out without me, and I'm definitely going to be really frustrated and suffer a lot of FOMO because of it. But I just need to remind myself that I'm doing my own thing, you know. The fact that they will have fun without me does not mean that they don't like me, or that they don't want me around, or that I'm not going to have fun later with them in the future. But I'm really scared about that, studying abroad, because I know that I'm going to suffer, and I'm just so scared that I'm not going to have friends there. So if they hang out, I'm just going to be alone in a foreign country without anyone to talk to, and I'm just going to feel it so much intensely. I'm gonna go crazy, I think. And I feel like exposure therapy is the only way you could get around that. I don't know, guys, I don't know. I'm saying this and I still suffer from it daily. So if you have any opinions, if you have any tips, you should be sure to leave them in the comments, because I really need help with this. I think to start off, I need to have, you know, take care of these insecurities of not feeling worth it, or not feeling enough, or, you know, scared that people are going to abandon me because they had fun without me, and realize that I was not a good friend after all. So I need to deal with those emotions and those insecurities first, and I think that's going to help a lot in this fear of missing out, because again, FOMO only triggers those feelings. So I need to work on that. How am I going to do that? I don't know. I am ghosting my psychologist again. Fun. And this also happens with like really random situations. Like, my friend is studying abroad right now, and I feel FOMO because I'm not there. I have FOMO about situations that don't even make sense for me to have FOMO. I was never going to study abroad with her. Like, she's having fun. I'm so glad she's happy, but every time I see her stories, I just get like, it's a very bittersweet feeling, because I want to experience what she's experiencing, but I'm so happy that she's experiencing it. And it's just, again, a very irrational feeling. I talked to my psychologist about this, and she kind of like made sure that I knew that the FOMO was very, like, a large part of it was the fact that I didn't felt special, because this argument, like me saying to my psychologist that, oh, she's done this, so it doesn't feel special anymore if I do it with her, has come up a lot during our consultations. And I don't know if this works. She told me to write every day 5 things that made me special, and I did it for like a week, and I guess it helped, but I wasn't consistent with it, so I cannot tell you if that works or not. That was it. It's kind of like a shorter episode, because I think I've talked way too fast, honestly. It's very hard to put into words, but I try to do my best and not put into words, but like explain my thoughts and feelings about it. And I would just want you to know that everyone suffers from this. Everyone has suffered from this at least once in their lifetime, for sure. And if you haven't, tell me how. Help me, please, and help us, because I know that this is such a familiar feeling to so many of you out there. Even if you're just watching Instagram stories or on Reels and you're seeing all of these people having so much fun with their lives, you feel FOMO because you feel like you're missing out on your life. That's a little bit different than what I discussed here, but it still is FOMO. So everyone has suffered. Like, I don't care. I don't think it's normal for me to go absolutely batshit crazy because my friends are hanging out without me during a night. Like, it was like 6 hours and I thought the whole world was ending. I didn't sleep that night. Like, I was waking up like every half an hour to see if someone had posted a story, to see if they're saying anything, to see what they're doing, to see if they're already like gone, how was it, like I couldn't sleep. Like, my anxiety was just so bad, and I really need to try and fix that. And I think exposure therapy during studying abroad is going to be the best. My phone ran out of storage, so I think that's just a sign for me to shut the fuck up. That's it for today's video. I feel like I ramble on a little bit and got a little sidetracked. I do want to let you know I have a Patreon now. I asked you last video if you guys wanted a Patreon, and so many of you guys said that you wanted one. So I have a Patreon now. I'm going to post a video at the exact same time as I'm posting this one, so I'm going to leave the link down below to the Patreon. Or if you're watching this on Spotify, which I'm going to eventually upload all of these episodes on Spotify, go to my YouTube or whatever. I'm gonna have the Patreon somewhere, okay? Don't worry. And if you don't want to pay for it, guys, that's totally fine. Okay, that's totally fine. You're not gonna lose anything. It's just a little extra support and some extra content. But you should definitely enter it as well, even if you don't want to pay it, because I'm going to post like updates, kind of like a little group chat, okay? I already have 2 videos awaiting. I'm going to post one today, and I'm going to post one later in this week, so yeah, you should definitely go and check it out. That's it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!